Are we talking about multi-billion or multi-trillion? What is going on, guys? This is Yix here of Magna Crypto and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to look at price targets for a few of my favorite picks. But to do that, I need to put it into context and actually have a look at market cap and total market cap, so these price targets actually make sense. And before we get started, a bit of housekeeping. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. I would really appreciate that. Also, if you want to learn about crypto and you're a beginner, I've made a course which is completely free, link in the description, where you learn all about crypto, the fundamentals, and everything you need to know to get started straight away. So have a look at that if you are a beginner. With that out the way, let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, we are looking at the total market cap of cryptocurrency. It's including Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything in the market put together. So what I'm showing you here right now is basically, so there was a peak around 2014, right? One of the bull runs, the end of it. And the market cap during that peak was about 8.6 billion. Right, and it finished, so throughout the whole peak from 2014 all the way to 2018, when Bitcoin peaked at 20,000, the market cap grew to an enormous level of 735, let's just round it up, $750 billion. So that is an increase of 8,700%, or you can call it almost 9,000%, which would be times 90, right? So how far can it go in the next bull run? That is the question. Now, is it gonna go 90x? Probably not. However, can it go half of that, about 40x, or maybe 30x, or maybe 10x? If we went by 40x, then we would get to 31,000 billion, which is 31 trillion. Very, very unlikely. However, can it go, let's say, 10x? Possibly. I don't think that's too much to kind of project into the future, because that would take the market cap to roughly 8 trillion, right? So that's a 10x from the market cap of where it peaked in 2018. Now, even 7 trillion or 8 trillion, you might think that's a high market cap. But again, let me put it into context of the global stage, the global markets. So I googled the market cap of the S&P 500. So the market cap of the S&P 500 is approximately $23 trillion. So that, to put it into perspective, so if the crypto market 10x from its previous peak, it would get to about 7-8 trillion, which is still less than what, 60% of this current market cap. That's where it can potentially go. So that's a 10x from its previous peak. What about the Nasdaq, which is the other large stock exchange in the US? So that's approximately 17 trillion, still very large. What about the gold market cap? 9 trillion. So that's just under the market cap of the of gold. So you can see that 10x is not actually that much of a jump or a projection as to where we could get to during the next bull run. So now that we've got that into perspective as to how big it can grow, how far it can get, as a fairly, I would say, in my opinion, a conservative target, we can now progress into the kind of price targets I have for a few of the cryptocurrencies I'm looking at. So let's first start off with Ocean Protocol. So Ocean Protocol is a small cap, relatively small cap at 156 million. Right, so even before we get to the previous peak, right now the current market cap of the crypto market is about 400 billion. Right, so we haven't even reached the previous all-time high. So we've got a lot more of room to maneuver before we get to that level, and then we go beyond. So current market cap is 156 as of recording this video, and at a price at 46 cents. So for it to get to $5, it'll be a market cap of, which is 10x, which would be 1.56 billion. Right, that would be its market cap, and to get 20x to $10, it would be market cap of 3 billion. To put that into perspective, Bitcoin's market cap is around 200 billion. So I think this is very, very realistic for Ocean, during this bull run. So it's already reached about 75, which was the all-time high. It's definitely going to get to $1, and from that point onwards, I made a video about Ethereum and how fast it progressed when it reached its all-time high in the previous bull market. Once these smaller caps really get going, they will absolutely smash through some of these targets like a hot knife through butter and just tear it up. Again, bearing in mind the market cap in the future could be about 7 trillion. So, this will be a small little sliver of that total market cap. And this is one of the DeFi coins which is doing quite well and has huge potential. So this is, I would say, it's not even an outlandish target. It's a relatively conservative target in my opinion, $10. So if you invested right now, how much would you get back? So that's, as you can see, that's 20x. So you put in £1,000, times that by 20, you get 20 grand. Pretty good returns. Let's move on to our next pick. So next we have Band Protocol, one of the challengers to Link, which has it's an established coin already, and Band is already known for being the competitor to Link, so it will do relatively well if Chainlink does well, which it is doing well. So from all the small caps, it's relatively low risk, and its market cap is it's similar to Ocean's. It's 130 million. The maximum price target I have for this is $200, or the highest. Again, what you have to bear in mind with this is obviously we're looking at $5.85. So you might think this is a bit more expensive, but the way in which they work it out is in relation to the maximum supply of coins that the crypto project has. So for Ocean Protocol, or for Band even, the max supply is 100 million. Whereas Ocean or some of these other projects have a much higher supply. So this is 350 million. That's the circulating supply out of 613 million. Hence why, when you do the maths, the actual price is a lot lower. So don't get too bogged down with thinking, oh, it's a bit more expensive. That's not how you calculate it. So at the moment, its all-time high was $17. So it would only be just over 10x or like a 12x to get to $200. it's definitely going to get to $30 and to $50, and 200 is not going to be too far away. It will be a similar market cap to Ocean at around 3 billion for it to get to that level. And also, as it's one of Chainlink's main competitors, if you actually have a look at Link and look at its market cap at the moment, the market cap is 4.7 billion, right? So, and this is Chainlink, which made most of its ground in the last year or two, probably in the last year. And it's already at 4.7 billion. And this is without even reaching, again, the previous all-time high, where the total market cap is 750 billion. So Band can definitely reach that. The market cap will probably still be less than what Chainlink is now for it to get to $200. So that is the price target I have for Band. To some this can be a bit out there, but this is again in the context of where the market cap can and has a good chance of getting to, which is about 7-8 trillion. Now we'll move on to the last pick, which is FTT, which is a token in the FTX exchange. So this token, think of it in a similar fashion to the Binance coin. So it gives you discounts on the exchange, discounts on fees and things like that. So, if you look at the trajectory of the Binance coin, I think it got to like 35 or was it BNB? It must have got to like $35. Right, so it got to almost $45, right? From obviously barely nothing, massive spike to almost $3, and massive spike to 22, a crash, and then a huge spike to 42, or rallies even is a better word. So, with the rise of the success of this FT exchange, it's really climbing the charts in the derivative market. It's gaining a lot of success, a lot of good reviews. Many users are switching from BitMEX to FTX because it's so innovative. It's very user friendly. It's basically completely made for the trader. Actually, I wouldn't necessarily use user friendly, but it's made for traders. Anything the traders can suggest, they really look to implement it, and it's just very, very efficiently built, with a great solid team behind it. So I have high hopes for this exchange and for the token that they're using. So my target for this token is around $50, and that's a 12x from where we are now, which isn't very much of a massive jump in the crypto world. Let's see, if we look at the FTT token on here and look at its current market cap. So right now the market cap is 360 million, which is about 2.5 times larger than the other two that we've looked at today. So 10x would take it, or 12x would take it to about 4 billion, right? Which is still much, which is still like 10% of what Chainlink is right now. So, you really have to multiply the whole market by order of magnitude of like 10 times, because we're not going to stay at this total market cap of 400 billion. We're going to get back to all-time high 750. We're going to go to $1 trillion. And we could potentially in this next bull run go 10x and go to about 7 trillion. Who knows? Or 7-8 trillion. It might be 5 trillion. It might be give or take that. But it's going to be in the trillions. Especially with what's happening with the fiat currencies, how they're printing trillions of dollars. This obviously devalues the fiat currencies that we're using and makes assets appreciate massively in relation to the fiat currencies. So whatever asset you own, when the fiat currencies devalue or loses value, even though nothing's changed with the assets will increase in value in relation to the fiat currency. That makes sense. So you've got to bear all this in mind, and this is why it's very possible for us to get to these price targets and to get to this market cap that of at least 5 trillion. I would say 10x, 7-8 trillion, give or take a few trillion, which these days apparently isn't worth much, which is crazy. But those are the price targets I have for those coins, and I think, you know, the whole market in general is gonna rise together, but a few special coins, I'm gonna put obviously money behind my favorite picks, I think will rise much higher than the rest of the market. So that'll be the end of this video. I hope you got some value from that, and I hope you now have a better understanding as to where price could potentially go in relation to the increase in the total market. And then if you also, again, compared to where the stock market is, the market caps of those markets. So it puts everything into perspective. But yeah, I will leave you there and see you in the next video. Peace.